Yo, welcome back to another video. I was literally talking to myself for like 3 whole minutes. I was like, I can't even find my video. And it was like, I wasn't even streaming yet. But anyways, welcome back to another video. My name is Corey the Man. Welcome. So today we're gonna be reacting to WWE Greatest Matches. My video finally popped up. Ain't that something? So let's get right into it. I got this video right here. It's 9 minutes. They had a video on here for 5 minutes. I was like, how do you do a video of the 10 greatest matches in 5 minutes?
Man destroying his cats.
What is the greatest match in WWE history? Objectively, there's no real answer. Everybody has different tastes and different ideas of what makes a match great. To you, The Fiend
versus Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker.
An abomination. But to me, it should be held with the same level of reverence as the Shawshank Redemption. The closest thing we have to true consensus on the matter is CageMatch.net. The ultra-detailed wrestling database offers all kinds of facts and stats on almost every match ever, while also encouraging users to rate what they've watched. It's the closest thing we have to a democratic opinion, kind of like the wrestling version of IMDb, even if things are definitely a little bit skewed. In effort to find the true greatest matches in WWE history, we trawled the archives. The results of this great collaborative process are interesting, let's say that. Cage Match users might be online, but are they on the money? I'm Andy from What Culture. We're here to find out. Here are the 10 best WWE matches ever, according to the internet. Number 10, Chris Benoit versus Shawn Michaels versus Triple H from WrestleMania 20 at 9.58 out of 10.
I'm afraid I haven't seen both of these matches
for obvious reasons. The brutal and devastating reality of it all completely overshadows the physicality.
I know who he is, though.
WrestleMania
he won't shut up about it.
This is the only time Benoit or Triple H actually feature on this list.
I guess they can't separate the two characters.
Later on, but Hunter's
I know, but Shawn Michaels and Triple H, they had quite the back and forth.
Younger fans. Is this the best WWE match that Triple H has ever participated in? Internet, I think we disagree. Number 9, Tyler Bate versus Walter, NXT UK team.
Yeah, I heard a lot about this match. Very hard hitting.
Out of 10.
For the people that have watched it, they say it's good. I have not watched not one single NXT UK match.
2 bangers earlier in 2019. Neither of those, however, are actually on the list. Walter versus Bate here is perhaps one of the glossiest no BS matches in WWE history. As Walter and Tyler Bate knocked the piss out of each other, the UK Championship had never felt more important. So it's kind of appropriate that around Gunther's waist here in 2023, the Intercontinental title is currently riding a 25-year high. The guy makes titles great. Number 8, the Dudley Boys versus Edge and Christian versus the Hardy Boys from WrestleMania X7, 9.59.
I think that's the X7 17.
The greatest spot fest of all time on the greatest WWE
I didn't see this match either.
Question mark.
Because I don't know.
Does the internet.
I don't like ladder matches. If I watch a ladder match, I'm gonna just skip to the end. Or skip to the most popular moment. That's just me. I think the only ladder match I actually watched, like fully, was Undertaker versus Jeff Hardy. And that's about it.
The Hardys, Dudleys, and Edge and Christian artfully
young Jeff Hardy.
Lightness of touch that almost nothing felt constructive, despite the level of care needed to assemble every terrifying scene. Number 7,
thought it'd be higher.
Versus DIY, NXT Takeover
I
Toronto.
haven't seen this one either.
Out of 10.
Because I wasn't watching NXT
classic, but not the
at that time or right now.
List. This is, however, the highest rated tag team match on the list. It is one of the crown jewels of NXT Black and Gold and an absolute triumph on every single level. Expertly crafted by DIY and the Revival.
I saw when
complex exchanges
they went back to NXT and it was like the Viking Raiders versus the Revival. And it was a nice match. I saw what they could really do. I was like, yep.
NXT was pivoting
They're out
away
there.
from being the little brand that could to an established super indie under WWE's umbrella. It was a pivotal step in doing so, and there's a reason FTR still repeat that hand-holding submission spot to this date. It is one of the greatest images in modern WWE history. Number 6, Ilya Dragunov versus Walter, NXT TakeOver 36.
I was about to say this earlier.
9.64 out of 10. A phenomenal
I
WXW rivalry
thought this
spilled
one
over
was up
into
there with that Tyler
WWE.
Bate
Walter
match.
versus Dragunov was as compelling
Didn't see
on
it,
big
but
American
heard
stages
about it.
as it was on smaller German
I saw a few
stages.
clips of
Building
it.
on the stories told
That
elsewhere to
head
craft something
smash
beautiful that
is
didn't
crazy.
compromise on brutality at all, despite the shiny new setting. Walter had been UK champion for 870 days.
Yeah, it was a
He was
Dragunov,
established
they
as
thrown him?
WWE's biggest big bad. Dragunov knew it more than most, and after waiting 10 months for a second shot at the belt, he put his body through hell and scored the most cathartic victory imaginable. After 22 absorbing minutes, his emotional breakdown was as arresting as his physical breakdown. When your back is as messed up as your chest and you're facing Walter and his chops, you know you've had a hard shift. Number 5, Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker.
Why is this not
WrestleMania
higher?
25, 9.64 out of 10.
I would
one
say
is
10 out of
probably gonna
10.
raise the most eyebrows on this list.
Did
Most
everything in
WWE
the
fans,
match.
at the very least, would have this
Unless it was
in
the
at,
first
I don't know,
match, because they had
top
2
3
matches
maybe?
like
Cage matching mates do
like
not.
Rock
To be
and Cena.
fair, there are only marginal gaps between Michaels versus Undertaker and the matches above it. Nonetheless, this is the WrestleMania match when it comes to Shawn Michaels' brand of drama. It was a big, bombastic, big theater popcorn match of the highest order. The wrestling equivalent of a gigronkous Hollywood blockbuster. This is the highest rated match that either man has on the list. Number 4, CM Punk versus John Cena. Money in the Bank 2011, 9.64 out of 10. Unquestionably a match elevated
How
by
are these
circumstances
matches not
and
getting
maybe the hottest
9.65?
wrestling crowd ever. Punk
Why is it
versus
still
Cena still hits
9.64?
like a quadruple shot of caffeine right to the veins. Chicago was ablaze for their hometown boy, CM Punk, as he marched into
One
war
minute, let me
against the
change
physical
something.
embodiment of the WWE machine he so angrily raged against. And yes, the wheels did come off the summer of Punk eventually. Shoutouts to Kevin Nash texting himself. But on a night when the wrestling world
Okay, let
genuinely
me just
thought that
delete
CM
this.
Punk was going to walk out of WWE as a free agent world champion, felt like the biggest thing in the universe. Number 3, Bret Hart versus Steve Austin. WrestleMania 13, 9.65 out of 10. If you're a seasoned wrestling fan
don't
and
see
are
why
old
these
as
are not
hell,
higher.
like me, you might make the case that this is objectively the best match in WWE history. Now, I don't necessarily think that the objective best in a subjective art form actually exists, but either way, the famous double turn match should be hung in an art gallery alongside other pieces of phenomenal craftsmanship like the Mona Lisa and Chocolate Starfish and the hot dog flavored water. There aren't enough bona fide classics that just speak loudly enough for
Hot dog
themselves
flavored
in this
water.
era of extreme content bloat. This, thankfully, is one of them. It's a masterpiece. Number 2, Ilya Dragunov versus Walter. NXT UK, 9.66
This must be the first
out
time.
of 10. The absolute peak of the empty arena era is right here, as Walter and Ilya Dragunov
Yeah, you
lit
can
up
hear them
each
chopping
other
each
and an
other.
empty BT Sports studio in an incredible, flesh-peeling battle, the likes of which we may never see again, thanks to the environment. Okay, look, wrestling without fans was mostly pish. It sucked the life out of our great sport, but here, Walter and Ilya actually used that to their advantage. Devoid of noise from fans and gathered masses, the building was instead filled with the disgusting sounds of flesh hitting flesh, bodies being dropped all over the place.
I'd like to
grunts,
see a no
screams,
fans
and roars
Sheamus versus
of
Gunther
all-out
match.
war. It's a rare
That could be
example
nice.
of the empty arena setting kind of working in the match's favor. And the match, I mean, yeah, it's obviously great. And at number 1, the internet voted greatest WWE match ever. Andrade Almas versus Johnny Gargano. NXT TakeOver
You could've just did
Philadelphia,
Andrade versus
9.66
Johnny Gargano.
out of 10. Here we are
I didn't
then.
see this
The greatest
match.
WWE match of all time, according to the internet, and perhaps the start of the era of NXT.
That's according to the internet. What is the
chasing
internet?
Insane levels of critical acclaim.
They
This
think
is an entry that
WWE
will
would be
absolutely
better
leave
if
some
Roman
people
lost the
maybe a
championship.
little bit confused, maybe
It
a
would
little
it.
bit pissed off. And to be honest,
seen Seth
while I
Rollins run in this.
absolutely adore this match myself, I'm not sure I agree that it's the greatest.
He don't got bad
match in
opponents. He
WWE
just
history. But
one-dimensional.
the
All
internet,
he
or at
does
least
is
Cage Match, has spoken.
same
Gargano
formula.
versus
Go out
Andrade,
there,
to be fair, is
sing,
an absolute
win,
ripper, well
and go
worth
back.
5 of anyone's stars, pitting a sympathetic never say die babyface against a hard-hitting bastard of a boy who had finally found his feet after a pretty awkward start to life in WWE. Gargano gained more here in defeat than he ever could have in victory, and it was painfully clear how his rivalry with Tommaso Ciampa needed to be settled before he stood another chance of competing for NXT's biggest prize. Anyway, guys, that's what the internet thinks, but what do you think? In my
I think
view,
the
there's
internet
definitely
is
a little
shit.
bit of recency
I don't-
bias here, but
I don't
debating
trust
these
the
omissions
internet.
is part of the fun. So let us know down.
And you know I didn't choose to go to your channel. Nah.